Let's face it, that new gadget glow is tempting, isn't it? But sometimes our bank account has other ideas.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So what if you could get that premium tech experience without, the premium price tag?
Right.
Today, we're diving deep into a potential sweet spot, Renewed electronics. Specifically, we're putting the Apple AirPods 2 with charging case, the Renewed version you find on Amazon under the microscope.
Exactly. We've sifted through the details on that Amazon product page, including those goldmine customer reviews,
Oh yeah, the reviews are key.
alongside Apple's official specs for the second-gen AirPods. Our mission is pretty simple. Help you figure out if opting for these Renewed AirPods is a savvy move.
A way to get that classic AirPods magic without emptying your wallet?
That's the idea. We're going to weigh the fantastic savings against, well, any potential hiccups, all based on real user experiences and the official word from Apple.
Okay, so the idea of Renewed sounds promising for the budget, but what does it actually mean when we're talking about AirPods?
Think of it this way. A product listed as Renewed on Amazon has gone through a careful process. Inspection, testing, refurbishment to be sure it's fully functional. This is all done according to Amazon's own Renewed standards, which are pretty strict.
Okay, so Amazon standards, not Apple's.
Correct. That's important. These aren't certified directly by Apple. They're handled by professional suppliers who meet Amazon's quality requirements.
So it's like giving these little tech gems a second chance. I kind of like that.
Me too. And there are other perks besides just the cost saving.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, choosing Renewed can actually be a more environmentally responsible decision.
Oh, so?
By extending the lifespan of a perfectly usable product, you're helping reduce electronic waste. And that's a significant issue.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so someone decides to take the plunge. They order a set of Renewed AirPods. What can they realistically expect to find in the box?
You should get a set of accessories comparable to what comes with a brand new pair.
Like the charging cable.
Exactly. Things like the charging cable. Now, they might not be the original Apple branded ones, but they will be fully compatible and functional.
Okay. And the AirPods themselves, the packaging.
They'll arrive either in their original packaging, assuming it's still in good shape, or maybe in brand new, clean cardboard box.
And what about their physical appearance? Will they look, used, like they've been around the block a few times?
That's where Amazon's cosmetic rating comes in. They usually offer different grades, like premium, excellent, good, maybe acceptable.
Okay.
So this tells you there will be some variation in how they look. Scratches, scuffs. Depends on the grade you pick.
Right, so a trade-off. Maybe a few minor marks for a much lower price.
Exactly. If having something look absolutely pristine is top priority, that's something to keep in mind when choosing.
Speaking of saving money, the original price for a new pair of these AirPods 2 with the charging case was, around $190?
Yeah, about $189.95, I think.
So what kind of discounts are we actually seeing with these Renewed options?
Looking at the Amazon listing data we pulled, we saw several price points tied to the condition. A refurbished, excellent pair was listed at $92.90.
$93. Okay.
The refurbished good option was around $86.99, and refurbished acceptable was even lower at $74.99.
Wow, those are some serious discounts. Let's just break that down. The excellent condition saves you roughly $97. That's over 51% off.
Yeah, it's substantial.
And the acceptable condition saves you a massive $115, like 61% off. I mean, it almost sounds too good to be true. What's the catch?
Well, as we get into the user experiences, some of those potential catches start to emerge. Definitely. But first, it's worth noting the listing also mentioned potential instant discounts for Amazon Visa cardholders. So that could, sweeten the deal even more right at checkout.
Okay, the price is certainly compelling, but let's talk about actually using them. Apple makes a big deal about that wireless, effortless, magical experience. The instant connection, seamless pairing. Does that magic still hold up with a Renewed pair?
Well, according to Apple's own description, the AirPods 2 are engineered for exactly that. One-tap setup, automatic connection with your Apple stuff, all thanks to that H1 chip.
Right.
And some users on Amazon do back this up. They mentioned easy, straightforward pairing. One reviewer even highlighted how effortlessly they connected.
That's the kind of smooth experience you'd hope for. That's the promise.
It is.
But I also seem to recall seeing some customer reviews painting a slightly different picture, connectivity-wise.
You're right to bring that up. It wasn't all smooth sailing in the reviews. While some users praised the easy connection, others experienced the opposite. We saw reports of intermittent disconnections, like one earbud connecting but not the other, sometimes needing a full reset.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Yeah, and some mentioned initial pairing difficulties too.
Yeah.
So while the potential for that magical connection is definitely there, it doesn't seem to be a 100% consistent experience with every Renewed unit.
Right. It introduces a bit of uncertainty you wouldn't get buying new.
Exactly.
That's a really important point for anyone relying on that seamlessness. What about how they feel? Comfort's key for earbuds you might wear for hours.
The in-ear design of the AirPods 2 is generally seen as comfortable by a lot of people. And we did see that reflected in some Amazon reviews, users saying they could wear them for ages without discomfort.
Good to know.
But, it's always worth remembering ear shape is super individual. What's comfy for one person might not be for someone else.
True. Okay, let's shift gears to what you actually hear the sound quality. Apple talks up rich, high-quality sound, points to the H1 chip, helping with that, even mentions lower latency for gaming. What's the sonic reality with Renewed AirPods?
Apple's claims definitely set a certain expectation. And yeah, some Amazon customers do align with this, describing the sound as great.
Okay.
And the H1 chip does help with faster wireless connections, which can contribute to more stable, maybe higher quality audio for music, podcasts, games.
But again, sounds like the user reviews weren't universally glowing here either.
Precisely. The feedback on sound quality was quite varied. We saw some users reporting the sound was barely audible, even cranked up.
Really?
Yeah, or noticing an imbalance in volume between the left and right earbuds. One review was particularly concerning, saying they just don't sound like AirPods, even though the device was recognized.
It's not good.
And it's also worth noting, maybe for more discerning listeners, some might find the bass response a bit lacking. That can happen with earbuds that don't create a super tight seal.
Right. Less noise isolation might mean less bass impact for some.
So yeah, potential for good sound, definitely there. A guarantee across all Renewed units based on user reports. Maybe not.
Okay. Battery life, another huge one for wireless earbuds. Apple promises up to 5 hours listening, over 24 with the case. How do the Renewed ones measure up in the real world?
Officially, those are the numbers from Apple. 5 hours listening, 3 talk time. Over 24 total with the case. Quick charge gives you decent time too.
And is that what people are getting?
Well, it's possible some Renewed units will hit those marks. But the Amazon reviews really introduce a big element of variability here.
Uh-oh.
Several users reported getting considerably shorter battery life. Some even said the charging case itself needed to be constantly charged, like it wasn't holding its own charge properly to top up the AirPods.
Wow. Okay, so the case could be an issue too.
Yeah. And we even saw reports of one earbud draining much faster than the other.
Oh, that drives me crazy when that happens.
Right. It suggests the battery health in Renewed AirPods can really differ quite a bit, probably depending on how much they were used before.
So if you need all-day battery, this is definitely something to watch out for.
Absolutely. These reports should give you pause if that's critical for you. Nobody wants their music or calls cut short unexpectedly.
Speaking of calls, what about using them for phone calls? Apple highlights the tech for clear communication accelerometers, beamforming mics.
Yeah, the tech aims to filter out background noise and focus on your voice. And actually, the majority of Amazon users did report satisfactory call quality with their Renewed pairs.
Oh, okay. That's reassuring, especially for those of us taking lots of calls on the go.
It is. But
there's always a but, isn't there?
well, as with most things here, there were some negative experiences reported too. A few users mentioned muffled audio or the mic just not picking up their voice clearly enough.
So if crystal clear calls are absolutely non-negotiable, another potential gamble.
It seems that way. It's another area where a Renewed unit might not consistently deliver top performance.
Got it. Let's quickly touch on some other core features, the automatic on-off when you put them in or take them out. Hey Siri, double tap controls.
Yeah, those are fundamental features of the AirPods too. And when a Renewed pair is functioning correctly, those should work just as Apple intended.
Okay.
The positive feedback suggests they often do. But given the variability we've seen elsewhere,
It's possible they could be inconsistent too.
it's reasonable to assume, yeah. Though these specific features were mentioned less often in negative reviews compared to, say, battery or connectivity.
Right.
And just a reminder, this specific Renewed model we're talking about comes with the standard charging case. No wireless charging here.
Ah, good point. If you want wireless charging, you need a different case or model.
Exactly. And while they support audio sharing between two sets of AirPods, that's probably less of a primary concern if you're just buying one Renewed set for yourself.
Okay, so we've covered the potential benefits, the features. Now let's get down to the nitty-gritty. The real downsides people have actually experienced based on those customer reviews. What are the main red flags?
The reviews really highlighted several key areas of concern. First and foremost, highly variable physical condition.
We talked about the grades, but what did people actually see?
Well, some buyers got units that looked practically new. Great. Others reported significant cosmetic damage, scratches, noticeable dirt.
Yikes.
And, quite alarmingly, one user even mentioned what looked like teeth marks on their earbud.
Wait, teeth marks?
Yeah. That really underscores the lack of consistency you might encounter.
Oh, wow. That's certainly not what you hope for when you open the box.
Exactly. Then there's the issue of inconsistent functionality. We saw reports of one earbud just not working at all right out of the box.
Dead on arrival. Not good.
Or the charging case itself being faulty, not charging the AirPods properly, like we discussed with the battery life issues.
Right.
Cleanliness was another one. Some got perfectly clean units. Others found them, well, pretty dirty.
Ugh. Yeah, you definitely want clean earbuds.
And I recall that one user mentioning their AirPods pairing as AirPods #7 that sounded a bit strange.
Yeah, what's that about?
It does raise a red flag. It suggests the device might not have been fully reset properly, could have been linked to multiple previous users.
Which could cause pairing issues or confusion with your own Apple account.
Potentially, yeah. And adding to that, one reviewer who bought an excellent condition pair reported missing essential original accessories, like the user manual and, importantly, an MFI certified charger.
MFI. That's the Apple certification for chargers, right? For quality and safety.
Exactly. And missing that kind of contradicts Amazon Renewed's promise of including equivalent accessories.
So it really does sound like a bit of a gamble. You could luck out, get a fantastic deal, or you could end up with something that has pretty significant issues.
That sums it up pretty well.
Are there any safety nets? Ways to protect yourself? I noticed mentions of protection plans.
Yes, Amazon does offer optional protection plans through Azurion. There are specific 2-year and 3-year plans just for headphones.
Okay.
And also their more comprehensive Complete Protect plan, which covers a whole range of Amazon purchases for a monthly fee.
What do these plans typically cover?
Usually accidental damage, drops, spills, that kind of thing. And also mechanical or electrical failures that happen after the standard warranty or return period ends.
Right.
The Complete Protect plan even includes coverage for normal wear and tear. The monthly cost for that was around $17, I think. The headphone plans are a one-time fee.
So if you're feeling uneasy about the potential risks, maybe worth considering.
You could offer some valuable peace of mind, definitely.
Yeah.
Given the range of issues people reported.
What about just the standard return policy? If you get a dud, are you stuck?
Thankfully, no. The specific seller we looked at, Nice Goo, clearly stated a 90-day refund or replacement policy and free returns.
90 days, free returns? That's pretty good.
It's a significant reassurance. Gives you a decent window to test them out and send them back if they don't meet expectations or have functional problems.
Okay, we've really dug deep into the world of Renewed AirPods 2. Let's try and wrap this up. What are the absolute key takeaways for someone listening who's maybe hovering over that buy now button?
I think the core message is this.
Yeah.
Yes, there are definitely substantial cost savings here. Big savings.
Yeah, over 50% in some cases.
And you do get the fundamental benefits of the Apple ecosystem, that convenient integration, the potential for good audio, but
A big but.
the big but is the trade-off highlighted by those real-world user reviews. You need to be prepared for potential variability.
What?
In the physical condition, the actual battery life you'll get, and even the reliability of core functions like connectivity and sound quality. It's just not as predictable as buying new.
So for you listening, it really boils down to your personal priorities, doesn't it? How tight is your budget? And how much risk, or maybe potential hassle, are you willing to tolerate for those savings? Are those reported issues, the spotty connection, the shorter battery, the cleanliness concerns, are those deal breakers for how you plan to use your earbuds every day?
Exactly. Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on.
Okay.
In a world that's increasingly focused on sustainability, reducing e-waste, does taking on these inherent uncertainties of a Renewed product represent a worthwhile compromise? Is it a smart way to make tech more accessible and be a bit more environmentally conscious? Or does the potential for inconvenience, the hassle of returns, maybe outweigh those benefits in this specific case?
Yeah, that's a really good question to ponder. It's about balancing the savings and the sustainability aspect against the potential downsides and your own tolerance for risk.
Definitely something worth considering based on your own needs and values before making that decision.